Okay, now I'm in the process of chopping up my celery and onions for my dressing, and here is the sweet potato pies that I made. Took them out of the oven. See? Oh, it smells delicious. So, what I'm going to do now, I've got a pot over here. I've melted a stick of butter. And I'm going to finish dicing. I've got maybe 4 stalks of celery. As I said, I like my vegetables very chunky. Then I'm going to put them in that pot, and I'm going to cook them down a little bit, not completely, but enough so that the flavor of so that all the flavors marinate together. So as I said, 3, maybe 4 stalks of celery, and again, it always depends on how much you want to make. I'm going to make, this is my dish that I'm going to put my dressing in. I have my macaroni and cheese in the oven. And after this, after the dressing, I just, and the cabbage is done. I just took it off It's got a little water in it. Well, it's not water exactly. The liquid from the cabbage and the onions and the sausages, all that marinated together. Okay. My celery. I don't really like a lot of onion. So, and again, this does not have to be done fancy because it's going to be cooked up anyway. So now after this, I'm going to take that cheesecake out, and I'm going to make a little white chocolate sauce that I'm going to put over it. It'll be a drizzle. It's not a frosting, it's just a drizzle. And blueberries. Okay, so turn up this eye. I'm going to check on this macaroni and cheese, see how it's doing. It's been in, maybe 40 minutes. I'm going to see if it's ready for this cheese. This is white chocolate. It's Baker's white chocolate. I just broke it up. And remember, unlike dark chocolate or milk chocolate, this is sweet. So you don't have to do do anything. Okay. This is the cheesecake that I put in the refrigerator, and I have it covered, and it is beautiful. Check on this. The turkey, there's nothing to do for it. It's in here. It is cooking slowly like I wanted to. And as I stated, no liquid is necessary because, here, let me show you. Okay. See? I want to show you. I didn't put any liquid in here except that stick of butter. Let's see. So you can get a look at what I'm saying here. Let's see, turn it around so you can see. You can get a look. See, it's browning very nicely, very slow. But as I said, I prefer the cooking bags because I'm reasonably assured that it will cook slow, the juices will marinate, and it will dry out. Now certainly, if I left it in the oven forever, absolutely it would dry out. But reasonably, okay, so now it goes back in the oven on the bottom rack. And I think I'm going to make, I've got some cranberry juice here. I'm going to make a glaze that I'm going to put over it once it is done. He hasn't done much. Now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this off, and I'm going to put the cheese on it. As I said, macaroni and cheese, and again, it's going to depend on what temperature you put it on. I actually, this is down very low. I turned it up to, it's on 325, which is fine. It's fine. I'd rather it slow cook and everything be fine than to turn up the oven, because when I was young, I cooked everything high. And of course, that's not a good thing. And as I said, the noodles that I had left, I put them in a freezer bag. I put the date and I named it. Well, not named it. It's macaroni and cheese, but I didn't cook it, so it's still a little warm. So I'm going to leave it out, and when it is cooled completely, I'm going to freeze it. Only smell this. Ooh. It smells so good. I'm going to show you what it's doing. See that? Now I'm going to give it, another couple minutes. Then I'm going to take it out. And I'm going to put my seasoning, and I've got my chicken broth. And again, I'll use the chicken base. I've got some parsley, onion powder. I've also got some cream of chicken, white pepper. I've got poultry seasoning, sage. And you might say, my God. But keep in mind, this is a dish that, as I stated, you could call it a casserole. I don't think that would be wrong to say it's a casserole. I think it is when you combine a lot of ingredients together. And you can eat it as a dish. Okay, that's enough. Now, as I stated, they're not going to brown. I don't want them to completely cook. See? See that? Now, you might say, well, what in the world am I going to do with this pot? I'm going to put everything in this pot. But before I do that, because as I stated, I always like to multitask, I'm going to unwrap this because this is the next thing that I'll be doing. I'm going to have to cut this paper off here. There's my scissors. Now this was my first time making this kind. I've always made the no-bake kind. Now what I did, when I took it out of the, spring form pan, which I mentioned earlier. Now, one of the things you don't want to do, let me turn this around. One of the things you don't want to do, when you're making something like this, you really want to be careful. You don't really want to bake anything else when you're doing it like I'm doing now with these other dishes. This I really should have cooked alone, especially since I had never prepared it before. That was a life lesson I learned. And that way, see now what I've done, I don't, when I prepare things like this, I never, I always take the pan out because your crust should be able to sustain whatever it is you're doing. And I always buy these cardboard rounds. They come in all different sizes, 6-inch, 8-inch. I think they even come in 4-inch. They come in all different sizes. And see, this is good too because, say for example, you were baking this to take away, to someone's home. You wouldn't have to send your plate. You just leave it on the cardboard and proceed on. Now, I'm one who doesn't really like toppings. I don't really do toppings. I like plain. And again, you can always add a topping if you want. But I don't make a cheesecake and put a topping all over the pie. I just don't, because as I said, as a rule, I don't put any on mine. I eat it on its own. As I said, this cheesecake is baked cheesecake, and again, it is a little brown. I'll be the first to say, but that's fine. It's fine. And you'll see when I cut it that it is. But as I said, I want it to let it get a little air, and then, of course, that's my plate. Holiday, I'm going to line it with a plate, and then I'm going to, as I said, I'm going to melt that chocolate with some heavy cream, and I'm going to put it on the cheesecake as well as the blueberries. It's going to be delicious, I have no doubt. And also, I've got some blueberries that I'm going to mix with that blueberry topping. Now you might say, well, why aren't you putting strawberries and cherries on your cheesecake? Because again, I'm partial to blueberries. I love blueberries. Now, basically what I'm going to do right now, just wash these blueberries. Yeah, put them in a little water. Yes, I love blueberries. I can eat them every day. Sometimes I do. Okay, now I made my cornbread the other day. I put it in a Ziploc bag and put it up. Now I made that cornbread in this dish, and I basically took it out. So what I'll do is I'll take my hands and crumble it up. So now this dressing is going to be a little yellow because your cornbread is yellow. And I like to break it up before I do anything. And you might say, well, why do you have this big pot? Well, I want to make sure that I have enough room. I don't like to work crowded. I like to know that I have enough room to do whatever it is I'm trying to do. Okay, so all I've done is crumble up. And I know you see some vegetables, but I haven't mixed them yet. Basically, I was trying to do the cornbread. So, I've done that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix these seasonings. Alrighty now. I can't believe I'm almost done. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. Okay, so what I've got here is rosemary. Now, you might say, rosemary? What is rosemary? Growing up, my mother always put rosemary in her dressing. So, here I am. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put about a tablespoon of rosemary. I don't have that much. I would say you want to put like a tablespoon of poultry seasoning. What is this? Well, that and rosemary smell a lot alike. I'm going to put some onion powder. I would say teaspoon. Because remember, I've got onions in here. Okay, and some of this chicken base. Put a tablespoon. And sage. Can't have dressing without sage. That's a tablespoon. Ah, shit. Okay. I don't know if you saw that. My spoon flew up. That's why you wear an apron. Okay, now what I've got here is I always, my mother was always good at, she always had the ends from a loaf of bread or some biscuits or something left over from all of us eating, and she would put them in a freezer bag and stick it in the freezer until she made some dressing. Well, of course, you know, we don't do stuff like that, so we have to go to the store and buy something like this. Now, it doesn't have to be this, but something like this. And I don't get seasoned. It's always just, as it says here, traditional, which means it's plain, doesn't have any seasoning in it. And what I do is, I do like a cup. And you might say, well, how do you know that's a cup? Well, I've done this a long time. So that's kind of how I know. Okay, let's see. So now, there's my spatula. So now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to mix my chicken and my broth. Where is my spatula? Let's go. You need a dishwasher when you're cooking a holiday meal. I mean, an actual person. My dishwasher is full of dishes from yesterday. I'm draining these berries so that I can work with them shortly. Okay. So all I'm doing right now is mixing everything up. So now, there's nothing formal about this. You just take your spatula, get all your ingredients out of there. You don't want to leave anything in there. Use a spoon to get this out because this cream of chicken is very thick. So you want to make sure that you get all of this out. Now, you can see this is Campbell's cream of chicken. Now, some people use the cream of chicken as well as the cream of celery, cream of mushroom. It's totally up to you. I stick with the basics. Okay, so it'll probably take all this because there's a lot of bread with the cornbread and the bread cubes that I put in here, because the consistency for this is going to be firm. It's not going to be really wet. It's not going to be like soup or anything like that. And keep in mind, this is what is considered raw dressing. It's raw because it's got to go in the oven. It does have to go in the oven. So, it smells good. Now that's actually good. That's plenty. I don't need to add any more broth to this. I'm so used to making a whole lot. So, you might say, well, if it's raw, well, you know, it's raw only in the sense that all these ingredients have to come together. They have to marinate together. But what you want to do when you fix this is make sure that you taste it, and to see that it has enough seasoning, that you have enough, that you got enough poultry seasoning. Because the only thing that you're really at this point wanting to add would be poultry seasoning, sage, things like that. Because when you taste it, you should taste that. Now keep in mind, sometimes people will make their turkey and they will have broth. They'll use that broth. And if you have it, do that. The problem is that the way that poultry is today, the flavor's just not there, and you still have to compensate. Okay, I'm going to taste this. It doesn't need a thing. I think I'm going to put some pepper in it though. Now this is my white pepper. I'm going to put, but you want to be careful because you can't see it. So you want to be careful not to put too much. So, okay. You will impress yourself. When you start doing this, you get into it and you'll get a feel for it. And that's not going to happen the first time, you know, because accidents happen for whatever reason they just do. But you know what? You don't panic. You just go ahead and work with it. Do the best you can. Like for example, say you put your turkey in there and oh my God, your oven started going crazy and it burned the turkey. Don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. I had that happen to me. The only thing I was thinking about at that point was, oh my God, what was I going to do? Well, I said, well, I guess I'm going to have to go to the store and get another turkey. But you couldn't find a fresh turkey back then. They were all frozen. And of course, I had put that one in my refrigerator at the bottom to unthaw for 2 days. Because it takes 2 days for them to completely unthaw. Okay, so let me show you what this looks like. And I hope you can see why I chose a big pot to mix this in. I didn't want anything spilling over the sides. I wanted to make sure I could mix it and have room to mix what I was doing. But as you can see what it looks like, you can see the onions and celery that are in it. You can see what it looks like. And so what I'm going to do is put it in that pan, and it's going to go in the oven. So now it'll be in the oven probably 45 minutes. Now, this has been sprayed, so, because otherwise it will stick, because that's what it does. Okay, you see that? Okay, so now there are times when I'll make this and I will put chicken in it. But you know what? After realizing I had that great big old bird, I'm like, I'm not putting in chicken in this. So you can see what it looks like. I am going to cover it though. So there's nothing wrong with using aluminum foil you got sitting up here. There's nothing wrong with that. What was on this? Oh, this was macaroni. But that's okay. So you take it, you cover it up, and it's going to go in the oven. So then the only thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to top that cheesecake, and that's it for now. The only thing I have left would be the mashed potatoes. I'm not going to do those right now. Let's see what time is it. No, I'm not. And that is why you always want to put a pan in the oven, because you never know when you're going to get a spill. See this? Look at that. Looks delicious, don't it? All right. So now put this dressing in here. I wasn't so sure if I went ahead and did the dressing, I would be done. Maybe I will go ahead and peel the potato. So this is what I have left to do. I just think that if it's a special occasion, a holiday, you want to, you know, put out your good plates and silverware, things like that. That's how I was raised. You do stuff like that. Okay, so